It began like any other winter morning in Johannesburg, South Africa, a city of gold and dreams. However, unspeakable evil was lurking beneath its surface. A dark and calculating plot was unfolding, one that would send shockwaves across the nation and chill anyone who trusts their employer. In June 2022, a trusted nurse, a woman who swore an oath to save lives, allegedly committed the ultimate betrayal. Not for revenge, not for passion, but for cold, hard cash. She is accused of orchestrating the brutal murder of her own domestic worker. This is the horrifying, true story of greed and deception. Her name was Busiswa Nxumalo, a 21-year-old from Nongoma, a rural town in KwaZulu-Natal where job opportunities were scarce. She was promised a better life in Gauteng, steady work, a chance to support her family. Busiswa was more than just a domestic worker. She was a daughter, a breadwinner, a quiet and kind soul who worked tirelessly, cooking, cleaning, caring for children. She had no idea she had just become the key to a multi-million rand death plot. Her employer, 48-year-old Sithembile Zulu, a nurse at a private clinic, had secretly taken out multiple life insurance policies in Busiswa's name, and the beneficiary, herself. Policies that would only pay out if Busiswa died. It started in 2021 when Shulu hired Busiswa, allegedly after persistent pressure on the young woman's grandmother to let her come to Gauteng. But behind the facade of kindness, a trap was being set. Shulu was signing off life insurance policies, using forged signatures, and listing herself as the beneficiary. By the time the plan was in full swing, she had taken out multiple policies worth a staggering 6 million rand, equivalent to over 320,000 US dollars. That was the price she placed on her domestic worker's life. And then she waited for the moment she could cash in. That moment came. When Busiswa left her home in September 2021, she was unaware that she would never return. It was the last time she'd see her family. What followed after months of being a loyal domestic worker serving Shulu was a horror no one saw coming. Her lifeless body was discovered, brutally murdered, her throat slit, her partially dressed body dumped like garbage at a rubbish site not far from Shulu's former home in Lenasia South. The autopsy later revealed blunt force trauma to the head. This wasn't an accident, this was an execution. But here's the sickening twist. The nurse didn't just kill her. She spun a web of lies. Zulu claimed Busiswa had been caught stealing and killed by a mob in her neighborhood. She went further to play the grieving employer, but didn't even attend the funeral. Her only contribution? A pitiful 500 rand, just 27 US dollars, for petrol to transport Busiswa's body back to KwaZulu-Natal. According to Busiswa's mother, the vehicle was falling apart, and the coffin carried a half-naked body. Zulu promised an additional 14,500 rand, around 770 US dollars, to help with funeral costs. But it was yet another empty promise. The family, already in grief, drowned in debt. They found themselves begging for money from friends, neighbors, and strangers, just to bury their daughter. That's right. After allegedly killing Busiswa for millions, Zulu handed them scraps, barely enough for bread, let alone a burial. Authorities began connecting the dots: multiple insurance policies, forged documents, a nurse with a deadly motive. In July 2024, Sithembile Zulu was arrested. Her charges: murder, fraud, and conspiracy. But she didn't act alone. Her gardener, Simon Mogal, was also arrested, accused of carrying out the murder on her instruction in exchange for 60,000 rand, about 3,600 US dollars. The damage was done. Busiswa's mother, shattered, cried in court, "Why did you kill my child?" Her cries echoed across South Africa because this wasn't a street thug. This was a nurse, a trained caregiver, a trusted family friend. The nation erupted. COSATU, trade unions, and activists condemned the act. The hashtag #JusticeForBusiswa began trending across South African social media. This wasn't just murder, it was a betrayal of the deepest kind. But here's what chills me to the bone. Busiswa's case isn't isolated. In South Africa and globally, domestic workers are preyed upon by those they serve. Poverty makes them invisible until tragedy strikes. Insurance fraud like this, it's becoming a sickening trend. Because in the wrong hands, a life insurance policy becomes a murder contract. As of posting this video, the accused await trial. But for Busiswa's family, justice will never feel complete. Their daughter, their sister, is gone. Insurance fraud of this kind is becoming alarmingly common. Experts warn insurers must tighten their verification protocols, especially for low-income earners. Because in the wrong hands, a life insurance policy becomes a murder contract. Trust can be deadly, and greed, it has no limits. If you found this story as shocking as we did, please share it. Let Busiswa's name be remembered, not just as a victim, but as a wake-up call to a society that looks the other way. Subscribe to Ctrl+Alt Crime Code for more true crime stories that dig deep, expose the truth, and remember the forgotten. Until next time, stay alert, stay safe.